Hi, welcome on in. This is going to be another kind of a mini pod episode, maybe a little bit shorter, but we'll see. We're going to get to talk to one of our favorites, Daniela Pejšová. If you've been following the show or the channel for a while, you know that the three players that were drafted this past summer into the PWHL from Luleå in the SDHL are my favorites. I met them and I followed them closely. So I got to talk to Nora Toulouse over the summer before she was drafted, and then followed up with her to get her feelings as training camp started. And I was fortunate enough as well to talk to Ronja Savalainen after she was drafted, when she'd gone back to Sweden to kind of get ready to come on over. And about the same time, we talked to Daniela Pejšová, who was Ronja's D partner on Luleå, and so I wanted to follow up with all of them to see how their seasons are going. If you've watched, you've seen that they're all doing pretty well. Savalainen has definitely established herself, and Nora is doing well with New York, and Daniela was drafted a little bit of a surprise when Boston jumped up and got her in the second round. And so I wanted to just check in and see how the season's going for Dada, as we call her. And so here's my interview, and hope you enjoy it. Welcome on in. We have a friend of the show and one of our favorites, as I mentioned, Daniela Pejšová, who's joining us. Are you in Boston today? I know you're going to Ottawa, correct?
Yes, we are in Boston right now, but we are flying to Ottawa tomorrow.
Okay. So we just wanted to check in. Like, first of all, how is the season going? How has it gone so far for you in Boston?
Well, like the beginning in Boston for me, it was a little bit, it was a little messy. I had some difficulties at the beginning. It was first some like problems with traveling. Then, unfortunately, I had a minor injury. So, yeah, it was tough start, but so far I enjoy Boston, enjoying playing for Boston Fleet. I really like it. I think we have a good chemistry with the team on and off the ice. So I'm just enjoying my time here so far.
Good, good. Yeah, I'm sure you're not allowed to talk too much about the injury, but suffered a slight injury in the training camp, I believe, and so you missed a couple games at the start, or at least you tried to come back through an injury. Is it all
Yeah.
good now?
Yeah, all is good now. I had the last appointment like to check it yesterday and all good. I think it was just until the Christmas I was struggling with that, so that's why it was tough. But after Christmas, all went good, and all of my check-ins with the doctors went good. So
Good, good. Yeah, that makes it a little hard when you're in such a new environment, try to make a good impression and not physically 100%. So yeah, that's a little challenging. But how have you found the level of play? You know, you're coming out of the SDHL with Luleå, as we know, and it's a pretty big jump. I would imagine you've played internationally, so you know you've played against some of these players. But how are you finding the PWHL night in and night out with the level of play?
I think when people say that this is the women's NHL, I totally agree. I really like the level of a game here. It's of course like the difference within like the main difference is that the ice rink is way smaller than in Europe. So the game is way faster, and I like it. It's fast, it's physical, and a lot of things are happening during the game. So I think it's even like exciting for the fans. So I really like this game of style, the style of the game here. So I'm just yeah, just trying to get used to it. It's not easy.
Yeah.
So I like it.
Good, good. And I mean, you've looked good. You have the type of game that translates well, but we know that, you know, younger players coming out of even American university, like it's quite a jump. I think, you know, some were surprised, and like you said, the size of the rink affects that. Does that make it more easier to be more physical since you're playing in a smaller rink, and do you like that?
Yeah, I think like for the tees, the smaller rings is like better because there's like more chances to catch the forward. So yeah, I find it more easier to defend on a small ring, but also it brings the speed too. When it's like small, you gotta really be fast. So I like it.
Yeah, yeah, it's interesting to think about that adjustment as well. And we've watched your friends Nora Toulouse and your former D partner Ronja Savalainen making the adjustment and doing well. I mean, we're about 20 some games into the season, so I think everybody's settling into that. And then just how have you found life over here in North America, in Boston, in the US? I think when I last spoke to you, we're still in a hotel. So do you have any updates on where you're at and how you're enjoying Boston?
Yeah, well, me and Clara Peslarova, we are roommates, and yeah, it was a lot of stuff going on at the beginning. We couldn't really find a place to live, which was like a good location. So, yeah, we found a place. So it's nice location. It's close to the downtown, close to here. So it's like perfect, and the area is very nice. So, we are trying to enjoy Boston every day or every opportunity we get or we are off, we are always trying to explore Boston, especially the Newbury Street, which is a shopping street here, very famous. So yeah, we've been there many times already.
Nice.
Yes. So yeah, we are trying to enjoy it, enjoy while we are here together. And yeah, for example, like we are going to watch sports, especially the Bruins.
Oh,
It's very like exciting to see Pastrňák, Zacha, and now Lauko to play there. The Czech guys.
hmm.
So and yesterday I was at the Celtics game. It was
Oh,
my
wow.
first NBA game. So I think Boston is just great sports city. You get to see like a lot of different sports on different levels, even the NCAA. So yeah, it's just perfect. Always something to do.
Yeah, it's a great sports city, and I think some spies were telling me that you were at I don't know if it was a Northeastern or a Boston, one of the NCAA teams. So you're checking that out, and why not? You might as well
Yeah.
and pretty soon they'll be playing baseball. That's going to be starting in the summer. You might get to see a little bit of that. So
Yeah,
yeah.
I already checked it. It's after the World Championship, they're starting to having some games, so we are already planning to visit the Red Sox for sure.
Great. That's great. So yeah, Clara Peslarova, your friend and country person. It's nice that you two are together. So I wanted to ask you about the game that she got to play. She came in middle of did she start the second period? Anyway, she didn't let in a single goal and you guys won. And I posted on my social media the big hug that you gave her. It was just really wonderful. How happy were you for her for that game?
Well, so happy. I mean, Clara, she's working hard every day, and I know her for many years. And she was like when I was younger. I think there's like 6 years within us. When I was younger, I had a huge respect for her. She was like the one of the role models we had. Uh, yeah, she's just great. So confident. Of course, great friend and roommate. We are having fun. I think, at least I do. Then you might ask her if she's having fun. But yeah, it was just great to see her in the net during the game. I think she did very well. We all know, or I know that she is confident person. So I wasn't even scared for her, like or afraid that she would be nervous. So yeah, I was just watching her. I was just so happy.
Yeah, it was wonderful, and she showed what she can do. Uh, she's got a lot of experience, as you said. She's a confident goalie, and it's not easy to be kind of the third goalie most games, and she dressed and she was eating her orange, as we all know, and came in. That was just
Yeah, the orange.
yeah. Um, I just want to ask as well, as you adjust to the league, are there any players that you, as a defender, maybe that you didn't know about, or maybe you already did, if it's someone you played internationally, but anybody that you're finding, because you get to play the same teams quite a number of times, so they're probably familiar. Anybody that's really hard to defend that you're surprised, or you don't have to say that you're intimidated by them, but anybody that you do find difficult?
I think this league, like everyone is very good player. Like if I think if you're playing on this level, everyone is very great player. Sorry to repeat it, but yeah, I think like anyone can just be like the big threat in this league, I think, you know, and on any team. So yeah, but there are of course players like Marie Philippoulin, Laura Stacy, and those players. So I got to play against them on the international stage, so I kind of knew what to expect. But I think everyone in this league is just great and can be a threat, and for sure.
There was a correct answer, Daniela, and it was Nora Toulouse. uh, that's okay. But yeah, I know.
Okay,
No,
I'll say sorry to her
no,
later.
I'm teasing you. But yeah,
Yeah.
the speed, yeah, you definitely, I'm sure that's an adjustment, and it's interesting. I think even in the men's league, I think defenders and bigger defenders, young big defenders, I think it takes time to kind of learn how to use your size, and we can see you, learning on the job, and facing some of those difficult situations. And then I was watching the last game and saw a face off, and I'm like, okay, that's number 55. So and it wasn't an accident. I thought, well, is there some penalty kill? What's going on? But you played forward for several shifts in the third period. What was going on there?
Yeah, you just said it. I played it forward. I don't
I
know.
could see it. I mean, you're offensive and big, but were you surprised?
Surprised, yes. But I was excited to play forward because the last time I played forward was like maybe when I was, what, 13, 14, something like that. So it's a long time ago. And that was back then when I was still playing with the boys. So I played a couple of games as a forward, but this is a very different level.
Yeah, a quick adjustment in the middle of a game
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, I think I had fun as a forward. I like it. I was always very like offensive D,
Mm,
so maybe it was easier that way. I don't know. Yeah, but I just had fun
that's
with
good.
it.
Yeah, I was wondering, I'll go back and look if I'm sure the coach, we trust coaches. They know what they're doing. And I didn't know if they addressed seven defenders and maybe just, she wanted to mix it up a little, but I could see it. I mean, I could see you using your size, that's definitely a big advantage that you
Mhm.
have. Well, I wanted to switch to our Luleå theme for today.
Yes.
Well, first of all, let's ask about Luleå itself. Back in Sweden, they're in the playoffs, and they cruised through this. I mean, they were the best team all year,
Yeah.
again, as always, and cruised in through the semifinal into the final. And I believe they're down one game right now.
Yes. Yeah, they lost yesterday. It was in the overtime. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean,
Michelle Carvinen scored the winner. So it's a best of five over
yes.
there. So are you paying attention? Obviously you are.
Of course, like through the whole season, we always like, even though like we don't watch the games really, I'm always like trying to see how Luleå is doing because I still have, I had just a good time in Luleå. It's still like my second home. I have a lot of friends there. I'm planning to visit Luleå in the summer with my parents. So it's yeah, I'm just cheering for them the whole season, especially now with the playoffs. I Yeah, now yesterday they lost the first game, but I think like that the mentality which is in Luleå, I think they can climb back like very like as soon as possible. So I think they have like big chance, or hopefully they will win because I think the the city and the organization deserves it, and the players especially.
Yeah. Do you think Frölunda is a good challenge? I mean, they do have some good players, but
Mhm.
Luleå won the championship last year when you were there, of course. So it's nice that you're keeping tabs. And so your friends from last year that also were drafted, of course, Nora Toulouse is playing with New York, and Ronya is playing with Ottawa. And
Yes.
so are you watching them? Are you keeping in touch? Or are you trying to maintain a little distance to keep it professional or what?
No, we are like whenever we are playing against each other or we have opportunity to meet, like we always like have we usually just have a coffee together or talk, and it's always nice to see them and just see how they are doing. I'm still like, even though we are playing against each other, I'm cheering for them, and of course we are like watching every game pretty much. So yeah, I'm keeping an eye on them.
Yeah, no, that's totally fair. I mean, we've we talk to players who, play together internationally and then they play on separate teams in the PWHL. And when you're playing against each other, of course, it's professional, but then
Yes.
afterwards you can always be friends off the ice and keep in touch and wish the best for each other. That's totally fair, and it's
Yeah, exactly. Like on the ice, no, we are not friends. We don't know each other.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
That's funny. So what is it like to play against them? Has there been any moments? I didn't really see anything. You don't always get on the ice at the same time. I noticed a couple
Mhm.
times Ronya and Nora were out, but I don't think they got to hit each other. So it's not as direct. But do you remember like actually skating by or bumping either one of them, or has it not been that much? Probably,
I don't remember anything actually. I
yeah.
think no, nothing specific.
You're
I
just
think
yeah, you're just aware when they're over there. That's
yes.
nice. Um, okay, so switching gears to the World Championships coming up in Czech, which is super exciting,
Mhm.
and just what do you think that's going to be like for yourself to get to rejoin your Czech teammates and have it on your home country? Like, how much are you looking forward to that?
Yeah, I'm looking for like we are still waiting for the rooster, the final rooster. So I'm still hoping I'm gonna be there. So, but if I will, like I'm just so excited for the tournament, just to be with that team again. It's always just fun, like just fun to be with them. And yeah, like people are very excited for the World Championship. I know that a lot of games are already sold out, so people are very excited. And yeah, I just hope it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, and so I mean, more and more that the Czech team is closing the gap, on the top two. Canada and USA we typically think are going to be the top two. But is it okay? Is there noise or
Yeah, a little bit.
okay?
Should be okay now.
Okay, I'll just ask that again. Yeah, more and more it seems like Czech team is you know, getting really close to, you make the semifinals, and how close do you think the team is to actually, getting a gold medal, maybe a silver medal, like being in the finals, closing that gap with Canada and the USA. If, that's making an assumption because Finland is there, Sweden is there, but Czech
Mhm.
has been doing a lot better. How close do you think you are?
I think for us, the most important thing is to play as many games against these teams as we can, because I feel like every game we play against USA or Canada, it's way better. Maybe it doesn't show on the scoreboard, but the game looks way better. We can compete with them. So I think if we're gonna stay on this track and just be ready to do whatever it takes. So I think, yeah, so far I think we are on a good track. When it's gonna be, I don't know. If it's gonna happen, I don't know. But for us, the main thing is to focus every day. How can we improve? And when we are together, how can we improve our game and just go by game.
Yeah. Do you feel like you're one of the leaders? I mean, I know you're young, but you've been playing with the senior team, I don't know how many years, several.
Many, yeah. I'm there
Many?
since I was 14,
Yeah.
so a lot of
Seven, eight,
years.
yeah, 8 years. So do you feel like you're a leader, and you can speak up? There are other leaders, Aneta Terelova is the captain.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know if Maraska will be able to play
Hmm.
um, others. There are
Yeah.
definitely leaders, but do you see yourself as a leader on the team?
Well, I think we have a very good leadership group, like of the oldest people, like they're or the old.
The
I know they're gonna
senior.
hate the seniors. They're gonna hate me for that,
No.
but never mind.
No, they've been there
Uh,
longer. That's why, that
yes, the
comes with it.
seniors.
But
Yes. I think they're doing a great job to keep the team together. We just have very good chemistry. It feels like the family, like the second family. Of course, we have our teams, but we, like the players who are playing now for the national team, we've been together for many, many years. So it's just good vibes there. But if I'm a leader, I don't know, I'm just trying to be there for the team, be like on the ice to show my 100% what I have in me and help the team for the success. I think that's my role, and always I would do whatever it takes for that team to success. So I think that's my role, in my opinion.
yeah. Um, well, I wish the team luck. It's nice to see things getting closer. It makes, the when you get to the semifinals and things, it gets really exciting because anything can happen. And I'm sure you think the home crowd is going to be a big factor for you as well.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. For sure. I think it's gonna be a very good atmosphere even for the other games. So, like the Czech people, they love hockey. They just love to watch hockey. Whenever there is some hockey game, it doesn't matter who is playing. The Czechs will show up there and have a beer in their hand and enjoy the hockey. Like it's. I think it's gonna be great.
Yeah, it's usually pretty noisy from what I remember seeing other tournaments. It's going to be interesting when you come back. And have you given any thought to, like, it's been a long season already, and this is about the time of year that players might have some nagging injuries or just their bodies are, you're coping with different things, and then the travel and coming back. Have you thought about like how you manage that, with the travel and going into April and then May and hopefully playoffs? Just any thoughts about how you manage all that?
Yeah, just taking good care of myself, my body, and do whatever it takes to be ready, for the games, for every practice. So I think just that, like, just adjust to the situation and do the maximum to be ready for game or practice.
Does the has the Boston coaching staff and medical staff or trainers kind of helped, assuming some, they know the Americans have named their roster, and do they work with those players that are going to be going over to make sure that they've got a plan to follow for recovery and when they come back, or is that something they just leave up to you and kind of like separate, like the national team will look after you and take care of those things? Do you know what I mean?
Uh, yeah, I know what you mean, but I think now we are focusing on our team's success. So we are working on the stuff we need, and we are adjusting to situations that our season brings us. So, and then it's up to everyone how they take care of their body, how they are preparing for the world. So, pretty much like that.
Yeah, yeah. It's a lot of responsibility, but you're a professional athlete now, you've got a lot of tools and a lot of help. So I just hope everybody comes back healthy. That's always
Mhm.
my main goal when there are these international tournaments and things, because it can take quite a toll on everybody. So uh, you know, um, just overall, like if your season were to end, or you look forward to the playoffs, do you think you felt good about the season? You've been successful. It's everything you wanted, from a personal point of view, if you could say that.
Yeah, I think so. It's first year in overseas, and it's totally different hockey and just different experience. So I'm learning every day. That's a part of my career, I think. So I'm learning every day, trying to give it maximum what I can. Working hard, extra, staying on the ice after practice. Working on those details. So I think, yeah, I would look back and be happy.
Be happy. That's great. Yeah. And then next year you'll be so much more familiar and ready to hit the ice. So I think that's helpful too. So anything else you want to say before we wrap this up? We really appreciate the time, and it's just been so much fun watching you, all of those, the Luleå girls come over, and I hope to stay in touch. So
Of course.
thank you. We just really appreciate the time before the break, and of course, good luck over in Czech at the World Championships.
Thank you so much for having me. Yeah, it's always nice to talk to you.
Yes, same, same. We'll hope to
Yeah.
have you back again, but take care of yourself, okay?
You too.
All
Thank
right.
you.
So it's great to talk to Daniela as always, and we'll be following her closely. I hope you enjoyed that. And don't forget, if you're watching on YouTube, subscribing and especially liking the video tells YouTube that we're giving you good content. On Spotify, you can also drop a comment, any kind of engagement. And then, of course, we have some ways that you can help us out with some funding. I'll put that on the screen as we end here, but I just wanted to say thank you all for your support. Hope you're enjoying these interviews. We have a couple more coming up, so stay tuned and thanks again.